I'm not Stanley Kubrick. I'll never be Stanley Kubrick.
Who will?
Who will? No one will.
When I was a kid, there was a place. A dark place. They closed it down and let it rot. But the things that lived there...
Hello, Danny.
they come back.
How was it to make a sequel to a Stanley Kubrick movie, and that being one of the best horror movies ever made?
It was utterly terrifying. It was completely daunting. It still kind of is. But we tried actually not to look at it so much as a sequel to Kubrick's film, but as a descendant of it, as a child of it,
yes.
really. And that took a little pressure off. That it was it was meant to be more of a celebration of The Shining, than a sequel to it so much. And Stephen King had given us quite a wonderful roadmap in how to do that, just based on how he approached it with the novel Doctor Sleep. So, there was a lot kind of worked out for us in that respect.
Yeah, I think if there hadn't been the novel and someone asked us, do we want to make The Shining 2, I think that would have been too scary. But
Yeah.
the novel was
I
a
get
great
that.
blueprint, and it was, trying to make it, as you say, the descendant of both parents.
Yeah, that brings me to, how was it working so closely with Stephen King in the making of Doctor Sleep, especially knowing he wasn't a fan of Kubrick's The Shining?
Well, the thing about Steve, he's very involved in the beginning and in approving every element of it, the script and the cast and things like that. But when it comes to making the movie, he takes a decidedly very hands-off approach. We weren't working very closely with him. He stayed as far away from it as he could, because it's important to him that the book stands on its own. The book is its own thing, and he says, "I want the movie needs to be yours." The scary thing about that is that he has to see it when it's over, and as Kubrick learned, he's never shy about saying if he doesn't like what you did.
No.
And so that's where the anxiety comes from. It's not that he is on set over your shoulder, because he absolutely wasn't. It's that at the end of the day, he's not going to sugarcoat his opinion.
No.
So that's the scary part. But thankfully, he really loved it.
Hi. You can hear me. You're magic. Like me.
I don't know about magic. I always called it The Shining.
What were your favorite parts to recreate or reenact or reference from The Shining? Because there are a lot of those moments.
Yeah, and recreating those sets, the environments from the Kubrick film, that was the most fun we had. That was the coolest part of this project, I think.
Absolutely. Being able to step on those sets, I mean, for me, it was the Colorado Lounge in particular. That's stepping into something that's burrowed into your brain from childhood, and it's really remarkable. I mean, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't you nervous at all trying to recreate these amazing, iconic scenes?
Oh, yeah.
Every minute.
Yes. That nervous energy still hasn't gone away for me. But yeah, it was the most nerve-wracking professional experience I've ever had, from start to finish. There's always this sense that we're kind of stepping into the shadows of these two monolithic creators, and for me, I'm just a fan, a super fan, really, of both of them. So I never wanted to approach this as trying to out Kubrick, which is impossible. I'm not Stanley Kubrick. I'll never be Stanley Kubrick.
Who will?
Who will? No one will. But if there was a way to celebrate him, and to try to be as reverent as possible with the cinematic language that he created, that was the goal. And I thought if I could make the kind of movie that I would want to see as such a fan, that maybe other people out there would feel the same way when they saw it. And that was the only way we could really approach it.
I'm ready.
Yes, you run, dear. And then I will find you, and you will scream for years.